In our village, nestled deep within the valley, an unspoken dread hung in the air. It was a fear that arrived with the new moon and lingered for 90 days. Every 3 months, like clockwork, a pregnant woman would vanish without a trace. The first time it happened, everyone assumed she'd run away. The second time, a search party combed the woods for weeks. By the third disappearance, whispers started. The old ones spoke of a jinn, a spirit of the forest that craved the life within the womb, stealing Mother Stubby for its own dark purposes. The village grew quiet. Women of childbearing age rarely left their homes after dusk. Husbands would nail charms above their doorways and burn sacred herbs that filled the narrow streets with a pungent, protective smoke. But it was never enough. Another season would pass, another family would weep, and another home would fall silent. We learned to live with this cycle of grief, a tax paid to an unseen entity. The men would grumble about hunting it down, but how do you hunt a shadow? How do you fight something that isn't truly there? The disappearances became a grim part of our local folklore, a story to scare children and a reality that haunted adults. We'd lost 6 women over 18 months. The 7th was a young woman named Ilara, beloved by everyone. She was radiant, her belly swollen with promise, and her husband, Kale, watched her like a hawk. He barred the windows, slept by the door, and never let her out of his sight. The village held its breath as her due date approached, praying she would be the one to break the curse. Then, one morning, Kale's raw screams shattered the dawn. The door was still bolted from the inside, the windows untouched, but Ilara's side of the bed was cold and empty. Panic erupted. This time was different. The villagers were enraged, their fear boiling over into a thirst for action. They grabbed torches and tools, vowing to scour every inch of the ancient woods that bordered our land. They wouldn't let the jinn claim another. For 2 days and 2 nights, they ventured deeper into the woods than anyone had dared to go for generations. Past the gnarled, Moscoved trees that were said to mark the jinn's territory. On the 3rd day, just as hope began to fade, they found something. It wasn't Ilara. Nestled in a hollow at the base of a colossal, ancient oak tree was a small bundle, a baby, wrapped in the tattered remains of Ilara's shawl. The child was alive, miraculously unharmed, and sleeping soundly. A wave of relief washed over the search party. It was a bittersweet miracle. They had lost Ilara, but her child was saved. They brought the infant back to the village, a symbol of hope born from tragedy. Kale, his face a mask of grief, took the baby into his arms. The village gathered around, murmuring prayers of thanks. Perhaps the jinn had shown a sliver of mercy. Perhaps this was the end of the curse. The baby, a beautiful little girl, was passed to the village midwife for a checkup. As she gently unwrapped the shawl, the infant stirred and slowly opened its eyes. The crowd leaned in, smiling, ready to coo at the newborn. But a collective gasp sucked the air from the square. A chilling silence fell. The baby's eyes were not the soft, milky blue of a human infant. They were a brilliant, piercing gold with pupils that were thin, vertical slits, like those of a cat or a serpent. And in their shimmering depths, a flicker of ancient, malevolent intelligence watched them all. The relief that had filled the village curdled into a new, more profound horror. The jinn hadn't just been stealing our women. It was replacing them. And now, one of its own was here, among us, wearing the skin of an innocent child. The curse wasn't broken. It had just begun. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next dive into the darkness. See you next time.